Friends, colleagues, graduates, I think the first thing I want to say is it's very warm in here, isn't it? Anyway, good afternoon and welcome to the University of Manchester and to this very special occasion. And we very much hope you'll enjoy this ceremony and the remainder of your time here in this remarkable city, which I'm sure many of you know is the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, and some people still think the footballing capital of the world. Here, ideas in natural science, technology, social science, culture, the arts, etc., have been and continue to be conceived. And that story about the creation of the modern world is one with which we at this university remain very much engaged. Manchester's story is also about the struggle for liberty and justice and tolerance, a struggle that includes, for example, as those of you who are historians will obviously know, the Peterloo Massacre of 1819, or the mill workers' stance against American slavery. In recent months, we've witnessed, not very far from where we are at this moment, a shocking terrorist attack on those values, which had appalling consequences for its innocent victims. But Manchester, its people, and this university are as one in condemning and defying those values and defying those who challenge those values of freedom, justice, and tolerance that have been so hard won. So welcome especially to those guests, those of you here, who are joining us as family and friends and supporters of those who are about to graduate. Some of you know we will have travelled a very long distance to be here today from elsewhere in the UK and from different parts of the world. Thank you for all you've done along the way for these our graduates. I know that you will be proud of their achievements, but almost certainly they would not be here now without your financial and emotional support, which I suspect may not have ended. Now, many of you will have seen the film Good Will Hunting, about an undiscovered mathematical genius. In the film, one of the characters says to Will, "Some people can't believe in themselves until someone else believes in them first." Well, graduates, these are the people whose belief in you helped get you here today. So we're going to spend a bit of energy applauding you, but perhaps you'd like to join us in showing your appreciation of the family, friends, and supporters who've been by your side throughout this journey. Thank you very much. Welcome too to my colleagues up here from the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures who have been your teachers. Albert Einstein, who once lectured here, said that I never teach my students, I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they learn, which contains a truth of sorts. We know what he means, but it does make teaching sound rather easy and passive, which of course it is not. It's very hard work. But none of us make intellectual journeys alone, and we all owe a debt to those from whom we learn. And I hope you will always remember those teachers here in Manchester who opened doors to new ideas and new ways of looking at the world. So on behalf of the university and you, our graduates, I'd like to thank those lecturers and tutors who gave of their best so that you might take a step closer to attaining your ambition, whatever that might be. So finally, we get around to you, our graduates. We're delighted that you chose to study at this great University of Manchester and that your hard work has brought a just reward in your degree, hopefully leading to a successful career. You might be interested to know that this country is run by humanities graduates who dominate Parliament and the upper levels of the civil service, while 60% of the UK industry leaders have humanities degrees. Nevertheless, what you have gained here in Manchester goes way beyond power and influence or a salary and all that that salary might buy. If you gained friendships, broadened your understanding, learned from setbacks, acquired deep knowledge, honed your tolerance of others and their ideas, absorbed enduring values, tested your character, discovered your limitations, added to your skills, explored your talents, and determined on a course of action, then your time here has been well spent. In short, I hope you've gained not only knowledge or transferable skills, but also wisdom, For as Lord Tennyson, the 19th century English poet, wrote, "Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers." Nevertheless, you may be wondering if your degree has been worth all that effort and all that time, and yes, all that money. The American business tycoon Warren Buffett observed that price is what you pay, value is what you get. And the true value of your time here will be measured over a lifetime. You do not yet know the value of what you have done here. You may have learned that political liberals can be cultural conservatives, and that social reactionaries can be economic reformers. That history is as much about the present as it is about the past. That religion can have very little to do with God. That speaking fluent German does not make you a good footballer. Speaking fluent French does not make you a good cook. And speaking fluent Italian does not make you a better lover. But whatever knowledge you have gleaned, I hope that wisdom will guide you in making right choices. For as Dumbledore says in the course of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Horrors, and I haven't read it, no, but I know the quotation, it is not our abilities that show what we truly are, it is our choices. So think carefully about those choices that you have to make. The other issue to consider is time. In The Dark Side of the Moon, which is an album that your parents may remember, even if you don't, they sing, "Every year is getting shorter, you never seem to find the time," a phrase I now understand better than I did as a 16-year-old when I first heard it in 1973. You have time, and you've shown you have talent. Use them wisely. The 17th century French writer Montaigne commented that there is nothing more notable in Socrates than that he found time when he was an old man to learn music and dancing and thought it time well spent. So you've learned much here, but never stop learning. Be like Socrates. Take up something no matter what age you are. And whatever you do with the rest of your lives, we would like to think that you will stay in touch with the circle of fellow alumni that is your own particular band of brothers and sisters, but also with your teachers and with this university that has helped to shape and to form you. And reflect on what that flawed ancient Roman Cicero wrote, "Not for ourselves alone are we born." In time we may ask you for your expert advice or for your help in opening a door, or that you support an underprivileged student here. And I very much hope that today does not mark the end of your relationship with the University of Manchester. And now I'd like to invite your head of school, Professor Alessandro Cesaro, to address you. Thank you.
Vice President, colleagues, graduates, and your families and friends, as head of the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures, I'm delighted to congratulate those of you graduating today on your success in obtaining your degrees. Colleagues in the school are extremely proud of what you have achieved. They worked closely with you for 3 or 4 years or even more. Some of you graduating today have studied with us for your BA, MA, and PhD programs, meaning that you've shown loyalty to university and the school for over 7 years. You've become very much part of our academic community. Many of you who are being awarded a PhD today have also been graduate student teaching assistants, working alongside us in teaching our undergraduates so that you're our valued colleagues as well as our inspiring students. We hope that you found your time here intellectually and academically stimulating, because whatever else studying for a degree gives you, the experience should have been one where you found yourself both challenged and excited. I'm extremely grateful to my colleagues for having given you that experience. For many of you, I've no doubt it will have transformed your lives, whether you know it already or not. I therefore ask you all to join me in thanking the teaching and support staff of the university and the school for all their efforts and dedication during your time with us. This ceremony is held in our magnificent Whitworth Hall, testimony to a remarkable tradition of philanthropy and social responsibility, which reminds us of the bold Victorian hopes and aspirations for our university. It also reminds us that the subjects you studied for your degrees have a long and distinguished record at this institution. Manchester was one of the first universities in the late 19th century to offer degree programs in history. While most of you graduating today will have spent much of the last year researching and writing your dissertations, what you might not know is that under the great medieval historian T.F. Tout, Manchester in the 1890s pioneered the concept of an undergraduate dissertation, which is now seen as a staple of all humanities and social sciences programs across the world. It's no exaggeration to say that the understanding of independent research as being one of the hallmarks of a university education in humanities owes a great deal to Manchester's history department. Today, history research at Manchester goes from strength to strength. In the recent national research exercise, where institutions were judged on the quality of their research and other factors, History in Manchester were ranked 4th in the UK for the quality of its publications. The History Society is at the bedrock of history student experience. This year's committee has been exemplary, from working to support the mental health charity, Mind, to their commitment to expanding student participation in the holistic university experience, to challenging the departmental staff to a football match. The History Society are crucial in making students from all backgrounds feel welcome and part of something bigger than their grades. The history magazine, The Manchester Historian, has been reinvigorated this year under the joint editorship of Aradhana Patel and Will Bay. With their editorial team, they relaunched the magazine to great success. It's informed, it looks professional, quality and content are on the up. Special mention to all our student ambassadors whose contributions to visit days and our widening participation school events are so valued by parents, teachers, and prospective students. Special mention must go to the Society's president, Munira Lula, who has simply been exceptional. Munira has been a model of leadership as president. She has also been much more. She has worked with widening participation, has been an ambassador on open days, has worked closely with the Department of Career Service in embedding employability into the curriculum, and has been a beacon of inclusivity. She has also had a great time maximizing every opportunity the university experience can deliver, from undertaking an internship at Whitehall last summer to overseeing an expansion in History Society socials. Over the past 3 years, many of you, or at least many of your families, will have wondered whether a degree in the humanities subject was a wise investment, especially in the current economic climate. It was arguably the best decision you have made so far, both in personal and professional terms, and one that I'm convinced you will not have any cause to regret. As the philosopher Martha Nussbaum cogently argues, the study of arts and humanities subjects fosters the critical thinking necessary for independent action and intelligent resistance to authority, and enables the development of qualities such as imagination and empathy, which are the essential foundations of democracy. The humanities are not just a broad spectrum of fascinating and ever-growing text, topics, artifacts, and facts. They are also, and perhaps even more importantly, a form of knowledge, a set of epistemic protocols, a specific approach to all aspects of the human experience and the individual and social level, which is based on unquenchable curiosity, relentless exploration of facts, openness, and sophisticated interpretation. In a world where the frontier of knowledge changed faster than at any other time in human history, this methodological foundation will be the most precious skill you have acquired here, and the one that will enable you to branch out in many different directions over the course of your life with full confidence in your abilities. Now, let me put this concept another way, in the words of our own inimitable professor of creative writing, Jeanette Winterson. The imagination and creativity, which are the hallmark of the humanities, are not the flowers on the table. They're not even the table. They are the very ground on which we stand as human beings. If creativity is a luxury, human beings are a luxury too. Indeed. That is also why, unsurprisingly, arts and humanities graduates are also much sought after in the labour market. This year we hosted a lecture and seminar by Sir John Conliffe, Deputy Governor of the Bank of England and one of the most senior and respected economic policy makers, now at the bank and previously at the Treasury. He talked about the invaluable grounding that his study as an undergraduate in Manchester gave him. He graduated with a BA in English literature and a final year project on Oscar Wilde and the Bible. The ability to dissect a text or an argument, intellectual curiosity, a taste for the unexpected, the willingness to engage with multiple points of views, cultural traditions and aspirations, to mention but a few, are the defining feature of an arts graduate and the reason why arts and humanities graduates are highly employable. Whether you've studied history or any other aspects of the arts and humanities, what unites you is an interest in what makes us human and part of humanity. The degree programs you've studied examine the most controversial and exciting topics of our time, such as the creation of identity, issues of gender and sexuality, the relationship between the local and the global, and crucially between past, present, and future. They signal the university commitment to exploring the grand challenges of our day, and they ensure that you will be ready to engage with fellow human beings in a responsible, aware, and intellectually astute manner. We believe deeply in the educational mission of the university, and specifically in the enduring value of the humanities. I'm therefore pleased to confirm that the school will again offer this year a £3,000 bursary to any student graduating from the university with a first-class degree who registers on one of our MA programs. Graduation is also a moment to celebrate distinguished achievement. Students this year have produced some outstanding work, and I'm pleased to announce the following prizes. The Craig Dumbreck Prize goes to Jasmine Eng. The William Mather Prize goes to Thomas Stockton. The Thomas Brown Prize for Best Performing in Exams goes to Ella Bulbeck, Jack Stanton-Warren, Aoife Inman, and Anthony Bladen. The Thomas Frederick and Mary Tout Prize for Exam Performance goes to Jasmine Eng, Joanna Macro, Anna Fielding, Jethro Pickering, and Sarah Shah. The Special Commendation Prize for Performance in a History Dissertation goes to Auntie Wavo and Peter Brook. The Brettler Prize goes to Sophie Charlson. The Roscoe Book Prize goes to Abigail Greenough. The Warwick Kinsey Prize for Best Thesis on a Historical Subject goes to Gabrielle Neofitu. The Hilda Lofthouse Book Prize for Performance in Dissertation goes to Frederick Buckley. The Dean's Award for Academic Achievement goes to Anthony Bladen, Abigail Greenough, and Jasmine Eng. And finally, the Valerie Camp Social Policy Dissertation Prize is awarded to Benjamin Goudert and Ralph Diamantes. On a more practical note, the school's web and social media officer has asked me to remind you that the school is running a graduation selfie competition. So please tweet us, actually tweet them, your selfie if you want to take part. But I should add, the selfies should not be taken during this ceremony. After this ceremony, I invite you all to join colleagues for a reception in Graduating Marquee. As you receive your diploma, you enter a new phase of your relationship with the University of Manchester. We very much hope that you will continue to be an active part of the extended community of alumni and supporters, to nurture an interest in the life of the university and the students who fill in your steps, to take pride in the collective achievements of this great and noble institution. The loyalty, support, and goodwill of our students is the foundation of our future. Please keep in touch with us and visit us when you're back in Manchester. We wish you the very best of luck for the future and look forward to hearing how you're doing. Thank you very much.
Vice President, on behalf of the Senate of the University, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Benjamin Knowles. Helen Metcalf. Also awarded the President's Doctoral Scholar Award, Jessica Patterson. Michael Andrew Lloyd-Smith. Also awarded the President's Doctoral Scholar Award, Rachel Winchcombe. And for the degree of Master of Arts in History, Amanda Jane Furry. Huma Naz. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History with Honours, George Alexander. Elizabeth Allen. Seda Baig, William Bain, Jennifer Lucy Elizabeth Barker, Rihanna Catherine Belbin, Peter Richard Brooke, Robert James Brown, Samuel Stephen Brown, Dominic Bryan, Freddie Buckley, Laura Bethany Callahan, Chloe Chilton, Lewis Michael Peter Clough, Ramin Diswani, Rebecca Ruth Davies, Rohan Daliwal, Joseph Rees Edwards, Catherine Emerson War, Hannah Fielding, Eleanor Margaret Forrest, Sebastian Mark Gallia, Joshua Louis Gamble, Evangeline Gardiner, Billy Gardner, Owen Gearty, James Benedict Gower, Alexandra Jane Gradwell Spencer, Evangeline Grant, Josh Green, Abigail Greenall, Eve Hartley, Gemma Rose Hayward, Callum Hibbs, Brenna Chris Horrocks, Ethy Inman, Joshua Jenkins, Daniel Michael Jones, Jason William Jones, Joshua Gabriel Jude Kassab, Anna Kehoe, Edward Kennaway, Andrew Mabbott, Joanna Louise Macro, Bethany Manning. Amy McClure. Kate McCoubry. Eleanor Melling. Joe Morris. Thomas Felix Mundy. Kate Murphy. Gabriel Neo Fritu. Catherine Erin Newton. Daniel Martin Thomas O'Byrne. Rory James Lawson Palmer. Liam Partington. Raisa Patel. Charlotte Peacock. Saskia Jane Peters. Hugh Phipps. Charles Pearce. Christian Oliver Pollard. Oliver Potter. Alexander Robert John Powell. Owen Robert Pugh. Aidan Stephen Radford. Sani Rahman. Elizabeth Amy Ratcliffe. Esther Sebag Montefiore. George Siddle. Asher Silverman. Jeremy Smith. Sean Smith. Natalie Smith. Rosemary Steele. Holly Grace Stevenson. Daniel Alexander John Stone. Mara Sabahi. Anton Sincision. Molly Beatrice Lily Tillett. Stanley Vicare. Auntie Lucas Vavo. Sarah Wallace. Callum Walters. Ruth Emily Webb. Catherine Whelan. Grace Summers Whitehead. Elizabeth Alice Wilkinson. James Walton Wilkinson. Jonathan Williams. Natasha Williams. Francis Wilson. Holly Sarah Wilson. Thomas Harry Winterton. Chloe Lisa Wright. Darong Zhu. Hojatullah Yacobi. And in History and French with honours, James Blower. Lena Summers. And in History and German with honours, Sophie Elizabeth Charlson. Joshua James Danaher. Jessica Newport Gay. Imogen Wheeler. And in History and Russian with honours, Stephanie Hastin. Emil Pippin Martyr. Thomas Stockton. And in History and Sociology with honours, Jack Batley. Harry Brown. Ella Calhoun-Bulbeck. Matthew Chamberlain. Anthony Chapman Joy. Jasmine Amelia Chell. Emma Winifred Clark. Sinead Cross. Jessica Davies. James Derry. Oren Kanda. Mahmouda Khanam. Samuel Lee. Cameron McPhee. Alex McCormick. Katie McDonnell. Nicole McNeil. Grace Victoria Middleton. Rebecca Porter. Beth Reed. Amy Roberts. Sarah Shah. Sana Tanwir. Sophie Wistans. And in History and Spanish with honours, Alexander Clay. Grace Virginia McPherson. And in Modern History with Economics with honours, Alexander Ankers. Jeremiah Matthew David Baxter. Harry Bowers. Benedict Bray. Rory Breach. Shane Chowan. George Cooley. Alec Cridland. Harry Fawcett. Lauren Kirsty Fisher. Jade Foster. Lucy Hughes. Nazmul Khan. Lucy McNeil. Robert Paris. Mackenzie Pickup. Jake Anthony Reed. Christoph Wilberforce Rippon. Declan Ridings. Jack Richard William Stanton Warren. Frederick Turner. James Whelan. Daisy Wright. And in Politics and Modern History with honours, William Atkinson. Marley Bennett. Jordan Booth. Jenny Brisbane. Brogan Campbell. Sarah Casey. Thomas Joseph Challoner. Joseph Charlesy. Ridley Tarek Douglas Claiborne. Ross Fraser Collington. Ella Violet Comben. Sophie Jane Crew. Callum Davies. Zach Kristen Deacon. Thomas Denman. Ralph Diamantis. Beth Alexandra Doherty. Scott Doherty. Liati Asu. Jack Finnis. Megan Gale. Benjamin Goodare. Thomas Gordon Martin. Thomas Elliot Herbert Maynard. Matthew David Hewlett. Emily Hume. James Heighton. Nicholas Jayaraja. Alexander Sheldon Johnson. Hannah Louise Kelly. William Lane. Manira Lula. Thomas Lush. Lewis Mallock. Cameron James Robin Mandeville Pickard. Yasmin Manan. Alexander Matz. Harry Middleton. Jessica Mills. Lois Caroline Macio. Elizabeth Ruby Oakley. Bethany Christina Parker. Ruth Pendlebury. Adam Parrigar. Jethro Pickering. Sarah Leslie Pierce. Harriet Olivia Price. Owen Rees. Alexandra Jessica Rose Routledge. Robert Rowan. Benjamin Ryan. Jake Shepherd. Mary Elizabeth Simpson. Charles Smith. Temitope Sabawale. Henry Thompson. Daniel Theo Tucker. Rebecca Marie Underwood. George Wells. William Paul Whiting. Lucy Jane Caitlin Wickham. And for the degree of Master of History Integrated Masters in History with Honours, Fei Li.
Good, well that wasn't so bad, was it? Nobody fell down the stairs yet. You can put your hats on now. And it remains only for me to thank you all once again for coming and making this such a special day, and I hope you go on to enjoy a very special evening, and to congratulate you all once again. And I now declare this ceremony at an end. Thank you.